Welcome to another edition of Inside Look. Now, we are in the North TV studio on November 3rd. I feel like we're one of those radio stations that starts playing Christmas music as soon as Halloween is over, because I have my Santa tie on. You can see behind me a scene from the last Santa Parade, the Downtown Associates of North Attleboro Santa Parade. And joining us, as he does every year with the exception of last year because of COVID, is Neil Lambert, the chairman of the annual Dana Santa Parade.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, and I did actually do a spot because we had the reverse parade and tree lighting last year. So I did do a spot here on North TV for the event last year.
It was definitely different, though.
It was different, but it was important. Last year was our 65th annual parade, so it was important to me. It was important, I think, for the town that we marked that occasion and that we did something. And truthfully, that event started off, I was just going to do the tree lighting. And I was talking with someone who was going to be speaking at the tree lighting, and he said, why don't you do one of these reverse parades? And I had to ask him what that was, and he explained to me, he said, you know, like we do for the kids' birthday parties and we were doing for graduations. Geez, that's a great idea. We'll put Santa right out center stage, and everyone else can drive by him instead of him going past everyone else. And it worked out beautifully. We had a few hundred cars come by. I think it was the best attended tree lighting we've had in years. And it was a great time, and it was a great placeholder to make sure that we kept the occasion for the 65th, you know, a anniversary, a big number day. And here we are now, we're looking at number 66.
This all started, maybe not from the very beginning, or maybe it was, but you're not the first Lambert to be the chair of this event.
I am the second Lambert, and as of this year or next year, we will both have had the same number of years under our belt chairing this parade. So my father took over from Mickey Vigorito, who I think had run the parade from its beginnings. And I think Mickey did somewhere in the 30-some-odd year range. My father did it for 15 years, 14, 15 years. And when he passed away, since the files were in my office then, someone said, well, why don't you chair the parade? And here we are. And no, it's an event I look forward to every year. I do it because I enjoy it. I like putting it together. I like doing this for the people of North Attleboro. And, you know, getting to see the finished product after all the work is very rewarding. And seeing how much people really enjoy the event makes it worthwhile to come back every year.
Yeah, if you live in North Attleboro and want to watch the parade, it will be live at 3 p.m. on
November
our community
20th.
channel.
Oh, yep.
Comcast Channel 15, Verizon Channel 24. And it will be streaming on community.northtv.net, community.northtv.net. We'll also put it on in Plainville as well, so it would be plainville.northtv.net.
Well, that's good, because I think a number of the participants in some of the groups do come from Plainville, so
yeah,
they get to enjoy it just like the rest of us here in North Attleboro, in God's country.
Which leads me right into my next question. Day of, as you said, chaos. I said organized chaos, but chaos. What is one of the toughest parts about getting the parade to step off? I am going to predict either a group that you thought was coming isn't there, or a group shows up, or a truck pulls up or something, and then where do you put them?
You know, fortunately, most every group that takes part in the parade does fill out an application, which is available from the Downtown Associates of North Attleboro, downtownassociates@gmail.com, if your group would like to take part. And on that application, we ask simple questions, but important for me. We want to know, how big is your group? A little information about your group, especially if you're not as well known, because we have a commentator who needs to be able to talk about what is going by him at the moment. And but very important for me in the logistics side of things is, how many marchers? How big is your float? Are you playing music? Are you, what is your theme of your float? Because I don't want to have For example, I was helping out with the Norton Halloween Parade this past weekend, and I had two groups in the division that I was organizing that had exactly the same theme. And one of them came up and said, "You're not going to put us," because they happen to park next to each other, "they're not going to put us one next to the other, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, there's 3 or 4 groups in between you." And knowing what the theme of your float is, or what your people are marching as, helps so I can make sure I don't have 2 people doing exactly the same thing, or 2 groups playing music that are battling each other. So those are some of the biggest challenges in putting the parade lineup together. But we do frequently wind up with someone who shows up unannounced. They typically get put in somewhere toward the back, somewhere in Division 3. I always leave room. And there are the people who will, they say, "Well, I'm going to have a pickup truck with, I'm just going to have a pickup truck," and then they show up with a 40-foot tractor trailer, and I'm trying to park them in a space that I had assigned, really only allocated for that pickup truck in the staging area. So there are things like that. Those are some of the bigger challenges in the staging area, but whatever comes, I'll find a way to make it work.
I know you always have a sponsor of
We
the
do.
parade.
We actually have a number of sponsors this
Okay.
year. One of our longtime sponsors for the parade, and is the overall parade sponsor, is Bristol County Savings Bank. And they've been a great partner for 7 or 8 years now. Even last year, they sponsored the reverse parade to make sure we had what we needed financially to put on the event and mark the occasion. We also this year have 2 classic car divisions. We always have 2 classic car divisions, and this year we have a sponsor for each one. Division 1 is being sponsored by W.H. Riley, and Division 2 by Mackey's Family Restaurant. And our last sponsor for this year is going to be for the tree lighting ceremony, and that is Box Seats over in Tower Square. So a number of companies have come out to make sure that we have the money we need, because there are costs associated with putting on an event like this, and those costs go up every year. So we've added some sponsorships availability, and we've got some great sponsors, and I think they're companies. Everyone, I think, if they don't already know them, they should.